we've been talking here a little bit about, refounding. I think that's a really interesting concept. When you have an existing organization, as you do, which is successful, as it has been and as it is, and which is a sturdy presence, so to speak, in the world, you don't want to stop it. You don't want to disorganize it entirely. It's not going to happen, and this would be foolish anyway. But is there a way to think about refounding it? In other words, the question is, if we were to start again, what would we do differently? What are there things that we're doing that we would do less of? Are there things that we're doing we would do more of? Are there things that we're not doing that we should be doing?
Mm-hmm.
And so it can't be a gimmick, but the whole refounding idea is useful. It could be useful if done well.
And it's important for an organization, a union, to agitate from within.
Yes.
In order to go through that examination.
Yes. And I think the opponents of good, strong unionism have agitated from without, because that hasn't happened within. And there's vulnerability within because it hasn't happened. If someone else raises that question, which may be a good question, they may be raising it for a totally unproductive and negative reason, but if someone raised it, if I'm a moderate member out in Montgomery County, I'm not very tuned in, I say, that's a pretty good question.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be better for the union to ask it than for its enemies to ask it, right?
I find some of the most important questions come from non-members across the state.
Yes.
Folks who are eligible to become members but haven't yet decided to join.
Well, that's really good. That's really interesting, because I think that's, the more we get, I think the more, and this applies to our organizations too, the more we get out of our circle, whatever it is, and engage other people who have a different view of us, maybe a mixed view of us, and they challenge us with, well, okay, so you built these houses, but frankly, the work lives of people in this community aren't any better. Or you've done a lot of affordable housing, but the rental housing, the public housing is still a shambles. What do you, those are good questions for us, right? That gets us off the affordable housing bandwagon and gets us into the public housing projects, which frankly are a lot harder. It's a lot easier to build new housing for happy working families than to go into the pink houses in East New York and to try to reorganize that. I've done it. So.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you very much. We've been talking to Michael Gecan, who's the Executive Director of the Industrial Areas Foundation. Thank you.